Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or as we like to say here at Shady Acres Woodshop, howdy! Today we're making flowers. Does that look like a flower? It kind of does. May not be perfect yet. I went online and bought some flower stems. These are, I don't know, about 12 inches long, maybe longer. They have a tapered end on this end where I've drilled a hole in the bottom of these little flowers and put a little hot glue in there and glued them on. And they look kind of cute. And we'll do the same with this one here in just a minute. That's what the stem looks like. It's bigger on this end, maybe 3/16 of an inch or so, and down here it's about 1/8 of an inch, I guess. So let me get this one cut off and I'll show you how I assembled these. Not that it takes a master to do. So I like to bevel the back edge of the flower, or what would be the bottom edge, I guess. And I'll just use the skew for that. Then we'll just switch to the parting tool and cut it off just at the bottom of that bevel. Maybe refine the bevel a little bit with the parting tool. I'm just going to put my hand under here because that's where it seems like it wants to fall. I'm not even going to grab it. And there it is. So it looks like that. And the bottom looks like that. Now you do have to clean this up with maybe a razor knife or a chisel, whatever you want to do. So we'll do that over here at the workbench. Well, I don't know if the camera was off or not. There's a little bit of hot glue thread hanging off of there. So now we have a bouquet, and I think these would look just terrific in one of your hand-turned weed pots, flower vases, whatever you want to call it. These stems were pretty inexpensive, but I don't remember how much. I think I got them off of either eBay or Amazon. And of course, in my case, most of the little weed pots that I make are only about 3 or 4 inches tall, so I'm going to cut these off probably in this area, and they'll just look real nice. At least that's the idea. I haven't tried it yet. We'll do a little flower arranging at the end of the video. So now we're going to try this. These are about 1 inch diameter. We're going to try this on something maybe 2 inches in diameter and see how that works. I'm new at this. I'm not an expert. This is kind of my first time doing it. I can explain more about that later. But those are dang cute. Let me find a larger branch and we'll turn some bigger ones. Well, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here just a little bit. Before we switch to something larger, let's show you how I turned these. I'm using a skew, very, very sharp skew. I'm turning it about 1200 RPM. My tool rest is just slightly above center, and this is resting on there is much higher above center. I'm just going to come in here from the beginning with the long point of the skew, and I'm just going to push to my left. I'm just going to try and grab a little bit. There's no real method to this that I know of. And I'm just going to stop right there, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to do it again. And stop and do it again. You don't want to grab off too much, which is kind of what I've done on this one, because it gets hard to push. And then stop, maybe there, maybe one more, maybe one more, something like that. And the cool part about this, no sanding. Then you just take yourself some colored pens. I got these at the local craft store for, I think it was 50 cents on sale for 9 of them. That's why it was on sale. It was a package of 10, but it was missing one. And do whatever you want to do. I'm just taking kind of a dark brown here for the middle. And now I'm going to just take a green one and just apply it like this. And it's not perfect. I guess you could go back and touch it up maybe a little bit. That's pretty good. And then part it off just like I did before. I'll show you that again. This is the kind of thing you can just play around with and devise your own method for how you want to do this. I could start with a parting tool. Maybe I will. I haven't done that yet. I'll start with the parting tool. That'll give me a little room for my skew. I could probably do it all with the parting tool. I'm just going to come in here at a bit of an angle. I just want to bevel the bottom of this. I'm just learning as I go here. Maybe you're learning with me. Maybe you're an expert at this. To be honest, the tool rest is a little high for this, but I'm just angling my parting tool up, and I probably should make a slightly wider. I'm trying to get at least one more flower out of this stick, so that's a little wider. Now I'd like a nice smooth cut. Maybe I could do that with the skew. I haven't tried that. Long point of the skew against the base of the flower. And see if we can just cut it off. And there it goes. Guess I should have put my hand under it. Let me go find it. Well, let me say this: you don't want to be crawling around on the ground when you're as old as I am. I did find it. It was way back there, and that didn't work as well as I wished it would have. Probably my fault. I guess I had the skew chisel here, and it should have been here. I'm just going to clean up this little teeny weeny piece and leave that little nub on there, and that'll work for drilling my hole. And then I just take the skew and clean up that little nub right off of there. And now we can start fresh. So we'll just come in here. I can't even tell you how much. Less than a 64th of an inch probably. And how far you go just depends on what you want to do, I guess. Once you get it started, you want some fairly firm pressure against the center that you're working against here. And in this case, we'll just take a black Sharpie, because I don't have any other black. And we'll just put a black dot in the center there. And then we'll try a red flower, because I haven't made a red one yet. And it's done. Oh, got a little chip out over here. Just touch that up a little bit. No sanding. What about that? No finishing. I suppose a guy could spray some clear finish on there. I'm not that guy. And then how do I do that? We'll part this one off with just the parting tool again. We'll come back here a little ways. And we'll widen it out. And then we'll just come at an angle to bevel the bottom of that flower. Just work it away a little bit at a time. Again, I'm just learning. Now I'm just putting my hand underneath, trying not to hit the chuck. This is an awkward angle, but I caught it. How about that? That's the idea. You don't want to go chasing it. And that one's chewed up just as the others were. Just a little bit. So just a nice sharp razor knife, craft knife. And just kind of nip that off just like that. Now we've got a good place to drill our hole. I'll even put a little center point in here. Start my drill bit with that. And now we've really got quite the bouquet going on here. None of them are perfect, but you know, that's part of the charm, I think, of handmade stuff. I'm curious to see what they'll look like with the stems trimmed up and in a weed pot. But I think they look pretty good. What do you think? Colorful. I'm sure no artist, so if the colors clash or whatever they do, sorry about that, got no idea. Just not my thing. But I'll tell you what, they're pretty fun to make. And I could see where somebody invites you over for dinner, take the lady of the house some of these. And I think you would be a hero in a hand-turned weed pot, you bet. Okay, now let me find a larger branch and we'll try something in the 2-inch range. So I found this piece of cherry branch that I'm gonna round up here with my spindle roughing gouge. Get it down to about 2 inches. That's just an arbitrary number, just a number I picked, but I do have to turn a tenon on it to fit in the chuck. So I'll be working on that as soon as I get my mask and face shield on. Okay, now we can get it in a chuck. This piece is probably a little long to be making flowers out of, but we'll see how it goes. Again, I'm just learning. Pressing it into the chuck and then tightening the jaws. Okay, we feel a little bit safer now. Looks like I could maybe get a flower out of here before I run into this pitch pocket. It's very well dried. It's not sticky or anything, but I'm sure it'll mess up the flower. And I did see it from outside the bark, but I didn't think it went as deep as it does. And of course I can still go much smaller. I'm still at about 2.5 inches probably. Oh, almost 3. That's a little big. I want them to complement the 1-inch ones that I've already made, so we'll go down a lot further. Maybe we will get rid of those pitch pockets. About 1600 RPM. Alright, now how am I going to do this? With or without tailstock? I think it's best to try it with tailstock support. Let's see how far we go, and then I'll slow it down a little bit. So I'll grab my skew. Well, that's kind of prettier, kind of delicate like, huh? Over here we have some of the heartwood, I guess. So it's a different color. But sure enough, this is in my way. I could switch to a smaller skew, but I'd only get another cut or two. So I'm going to slow the speed down. About 1,000 RPM. And I'm going to remove the tailstock support and hope this thing doesn't go flying. Well, by golly gum, kind of looks like a, what do they call those? Carnations? Kind of look like a carnation. I wish it all looked like that. The dark kind of throws it off maybe a little bit. What do you think? Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, could be. I don't know. Almost hate to color it because, like I say, it does look like a carnation. And aren't they white? Oh no, a white sport coat and a pink carnation. None of you people are old enough to remember that song. Well, I guess I'll color it because that's the idea. That's what I had in mind. Probably, maybe I won't color it way out here. I don't know. Who knows what? What color? What color? Come on, speak up. We'll put blue in the middle and then pink. Blue. Something like that. And then pink. I'm just trying. I'm just seeing what it looks like. Not that good. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that blue wasn't a good choice. What can I do to change that? Put pink over it. I do not claim to be an artist. Let's get it cut off of there. Let's see, what did we do? We used our parting tool. See if that still works. So I'm gonna cut straight in here, something like about that thickness right there, I guess. And then I'm going to come over here and cut a bevel along the bottom, just because that seems like the right thing to do, not because it is the right thing to do. I have no idea. I'm just going easy because we don't have any tailstock support. I'm going to put my hand under here and attempt to catch this. Well, that wasn't very elegant. I'm not sure that's beautiful. It'd be nice if I had a really white wood all the way around. I don't know. It might look nice in an arrangement. It might look more natural. That brown kind of messes with it, doesn't it? And I think the smaller I go here, the more brown we're going to see. This is cherry. Again, that's cherry. So I don't know if it looks good or not. I guess I'll go ask my wife if it looks good. I have to trim off this little nub here. And again, just using a sharp little razor knife. And in so doing, I bent that up a little bit. But it pushes back okay. I don't want to get into having to do all this finesse that I'm doing here. I just want to make a flower, take it off the lathe, and make another one. But since this is my first big one, taking a little more time and learning as I go. Okay, well, there it is. Better for worse. I guess I could touch up a little bit of this white wood with pink. But I'm just going to leave it like that and see what she says. You can make up your own mind, of course. Got to run everything by her because I don't know my differences. Okay, turning it down in diameter again. I'm not really measuring, I'm just guessing. As I said, I'm not a skew expert, which is probably painfully obvious. But I'll tell you what, I learned how to sharpen this sucker the other day. What a difference. What a difference a sharp skew makes. Just like with any of our chisels, but I think it really helps with this. Okay, that looks about right. We'll try it again. Just coming in here, grabbing a little bit. How much is a little bit? I don't know. Whatever you grab, whatever it feels right. And I'm pushing to my left, and I'm just going as far as feels right again. I just don't know what to tell you about that. This is not grabby at all. It's not trying to take the chisel from me. It's not vibrating. It's low impact. Now that one has hardly any dome to it, but I'll say that probably has the nicest, whatever you call this, flower making feathering to it of any that I've made. It's most consistent, and it's missing the least amount of wood. It looks pretty nice, so it should color up well. I'm gonna just blow it off a little bit, just to kind of get the dust out of there and see if it helps it cover better. Let's see, what color now? How about red and purple? We'll put purple in the middle, make it a red flower. Turning the speed down around 400, or maybe even slower. Let's try about 300, see if it covers better. That's 315 right there. And then our purple in the middle. What's my favorite part about this project? No sanding. Yes. Yes. Okay, and we'll part it off. Picking the speed back up here. That's about 1400. And we'll try that skew again. Putting my left hand underneath, right hand on the skew. Well, I can't get in there tight enough, but it'll come loose, but it's going to leave a little nub, I can see. And it does just drop right in your hand. You don't have to go chasing it. It just drops straight down. I don't know why. And it did leave a little nub. But that probably wouldn't even hurt anything. I could probably just drill right in the center of that and be just fine. But see how that one covered very well? And how everything is more uniform? All the little rows of petals, I guess we might call them. I don't know. I'm just making this crap up as I go along. Don't ask me. I suppose you could color the back of these, but I'm not going to. They are wood. I want them to look like wood. So, what do you think? Is that fun? That easy? Once you got cranking on this and you didn't have a video camera in front of you and you weren't an old man like me, you could probably knock 6 of these out in an hour, I suppose, or probably a lot more than that, probably 10 an hour. Now I'm not going to glue these on those stems that I've been using, those green stems, because why? I don't really have a reason why. My wife and I are going to go up to the craft store and see if they have something else, something maybe with leaves on it, something other than this. This works, and you can cut this to any shape you want, and you can bend it easily to whatever shape you want. It's wire wrapped or cloth wrapped wire inside here, so you can just bend it to whatever shape you want and it'll stay there. But probably should have something with leaves on it. I don't know. So when I get some flower arranging done, or I should say when my wife gets some flower arranging done, I will show you the finished product in some hand-turned weed pots that I've accumulated over the years. Not that many of them. So we'll see you back here in just a little while. Okay, flower arranging is done. This is one of them. Just a little bit of silk flowers, I guess, silk leaves. That's one idea you can do. Here's another. Same basic idea. And now you can take this just as far as you want to take it. I suppose a person could airbrush these flowers, or spray paint them, or dye them, whatever it is you're into. This one has less filler, less of the leaves and twigs and whatever's all in there. And this one has even less. This one even has one flower that has no color to it at all, just to give you an idea of what that's like. And if you pull that little twig out of there, well, I can't get it out of there. You'd have nothing but your wood flowers that you made, and it would still look good. I think this is just a fun, terrific little project. Low stress, no hassles, easy to do. Anyone can do this. Just grab a branch, probably anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. 3 inches might be a little big, but it depends on the size of your container, I suppose. I went with, these are basically 1-inch ones, up to, I think this is the largest one, and that probably ended up being about 2.5 inches, it looks like. And I think that started as a 3-inch, maybe, something like that. Now I'm going to link to 2 different videos that I watched to prepare myself for making these wooden flowers. One is a much older video done by a gentleman in the UK, I think it was. And it shows him going out in the woods and actually picking a branch. He did choose the same kind of branch that I did, the hazelnut branch. His flowers turned out great. I could not figure out how he was cutting them from the video. I just couldn't. I think he was using a skew. It's been a while now. It's been maybe 2 years since I watched that one. And I came out here and I tried it and I made some flowers, but it was not easy. Not easy for me. Might be terrifically easy for you, I just don't know. The newest video I watched a couple of weeks ago, which is also an older video, but the camera angle and how he did it with his skew, clear as a bell. Easy to do. So I'm going to link to those 2 videos. The second one was most helpful to me, but both of them are kind of interesting. But give it a try. Let me know if you do. I'd like to know everyone's experience. If you like this video, thumbs up please. I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, I truly appreciate that. Thank you very kindly. If you're not a subscriber, you might consider becoming one. I put out regular videos about 1 a week, and I'd like to keep in touch. Your comments are always welcome, and I respond to all of them. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.